Twin Cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul, Minnesota, in many people's minds are just a frozen tundra, but in fact, they're home base to a rich community of art and culture. In fact, some of the most important black artists of the last 20, 25 years got their start here in the Twin Cities, and there's a rich sense of growth and development here. So, Nelson George from BlackAtlas.com, welcome to the Twin Cities. The Walker Art Center here in Minneapolis is one of the great cultural institutions in the country. It embraces sculpture, painting, performance art, all kinds of visual art and photography, video, etc. And its sculpture gardens, which are right next door, are just magnificent. So anytime you come to the Twin Cities, this is a place to come to, and on a beautiful spring day like this, hang out. I'm in St. Paul, Minnesota at the Penumbra Theater, one of the great black theater companies in the country. I'm with Lou Bellamy, who's founder, director, spirit, God-like presence, etc. here. Yeah. Could you tell us, for those who don't know, tell us a little bit about the theater?
Our production values are very high. The ensemble style of acting is quite accomplished. And we tell human stories through the prism of the African-American experience.
How long have you guys been in business?
This is our 35th continuous season.
35 years straight. I mean, there's black theater companies in other parts of the country that haven't been able, New York doesn't even have a good black theater company anymore. Why have you guys survived?
We've had a number of artists who call Penumbra their home, who have gone on to do really national and international kind of work. August Wilson, for instance. Those kind of things resonate and come back.
But I am like the biggest August Wilson groupie. I've seen all 10 plays. I've traveled. I've seen him multiple times in multiple cities. I would, in fact, go to see the plays and watch how he would rewrite them as it traveled across the country. So it's a real honor for me to be here.
Well, thank you. I mean, there are many people like yourself who will go around and see those plays. And when they come here, many of them were created here. I mean, August used to sit right there.
Right.
So when they come to see us do it, many times you'll hear them say, I've seen this, but I never saw the play.
Right.
I never saw the play before. Because when we put this stuff on, it's of the community, it's an ensemble approach to the work, and we can supply the nuance and cultural value and weight that is the intent of the playwright.
Absolutely.
I mean, I know those plays when he was writing them. I'm sitting out there in the hall with him lying, talking about how he's going to write these plays, So we know those plays really well. I think anyone coming to the Twin Cities will miss a large part of what the Twin Cities is about if they don't come to Penumbra Theater. The theatrical landscape in the Twin Cities and in the nation has been changed by what has happened in this little room.
If you're a Prince fan, and come on, who isn't a Prince fan? I'm right in front of one of the holiest shrines in all of Purple Raindom. First Avenue nightclub in the Warehouse District of Minneapolis is where they shot most of Purple Rain. It's where he performed on stage, it's where The Time performed on stage, they shot some stuff backstage, even some of these side streets around here were used as part of the movie. So it's very centrally located in Minnesota, and it's still very active. Just because our memories of it, who saw the movie, are connected to the 80s, but in fact, it's still one of the most important concert venues in all of the Midwest. Upcoming acts include Raphael Sadiq, TV on the Radio, the Black Rock Band, and many, many more. So when you come to Minneapolis, you want to get a feeling, a flashback on that era. First Avenue's here, have a drink, and think you're in Purple Rain. One of the unique features of life here in Minneapolis are the skywalk system that goes all through downtown. There's like 80 blocks worth of these skywalks, some almost 8 miles of them. Most of them connected like on the second floor of most of these buildings. You can literally go from one end of downtown to the other via the skywalk system. So in the dead of winter here, when it's really cold, people can go to work in a shirt sleeves essentially and have lunch, dinner, meetings all without going outside. Here I am in the St. Louis Park section of Minneapolis at a wonderful spot called Guild. I'm with an old friend, Gwen Leeds, who's part of the team here. Tell me about what Guild is.
Guild is a collective of between 10 and 15 women at any given time. And I, being from the East Coast, always describe Guild as the ABC carpet of Minneapolis.
Okay, nice.
It's very eclectic, as you can see. We have both new and vintage and repurposed stuff. And what we do is try to encourage local artists to bring in their wares. And we started as a pop-up shop, and we went forward, and we got so much good press. But we stayed.
Tell me, how long have you been in Minneapolis and what brought you here?
Would you believe I've been here for 28 years and it's shot by. I came because at the time my boyfriend moved here and I really just came to visit. I had no intention of moving here. And I had been here for a month and I ended up working with the same person that my boyfriend,
who it is.
Prince.
Right.
And my life took off from there.
You, as a black person living here, I mean, people don't think there's a very strong black community here.
Very strong.
Yeah.
The black population, I would say probably now, I think when I moved here it was maybe 9% of the population.
Right.
I think it's up to maybe 12. The Somali neighborhood is everywhere.
So they've become a big part of the fabric of Minnesota, the Somali community.
Absolutely. I think we are the second. I think Washington, D.C.
Right, has a lot.
Has a lot, and we do, and California, but I think we have more than California. And I think it's made the city richer. Everything has changed. The whole landscape of Minnesota has changed. And it's a good thing.
What would you recommend a black traveler who comes to the city to check out?
Minnesota has a fabulous cultural scene.
Yes.
It really does. It's the one city, I don't think there's another city past here that you'll get to hear African bands and everybody knows them.
Right.
You might not get that in New York.
Right.
The support of the arts here is phenomenal.
You can tell by even the buildings here are beautiful. I mean, the Walker and how they're built and
the Guthrie, yeah.
Oh, Guthrie.
Bill T. Jones comes here and does his plays.
Right, right.
Everyone here knows Bill T. Jones.
Right.
We have the Givens Foundation, which is this incredible collection of manuscripts, first edition books, where they bring in authors, they have workshops, they're educating children. It's a fabulous, fabulous foundation. And these are all places that should be visited while you come, when you come to Minneapolis.
So Nelson George with Gwen Leeds at Guild in the St. Louis Park section of Minneapolis. The Twin Cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul, Minnesota, ground zero for important black artists like Prince and August Wilson, places with really significant cultural institutions and great places to shop. I'm Nelson George for BlackAtlas.com. Catch you in the air.